but it's not for the horizontal kind of class. It's a signal for the spirit that was waiting for the shadows to pass. The first lesson is the logic of the ancient and the primary source, navigating through the static with a natural and a structural force. We leave the miseducation in the lockers and the heavy-handed dive, focusing the energy on the evolutionary and the holy spark. It's a primal kind of awaken for the ones who know the actual real value in the texture of exactly what the sovereign person is allowed to feel. It's the morning bell and a primal kind of awakening, building up the architecture while the vertical world is shaking. The ritual is learning, aura is a steady shine, following the sequence of a much more elegant design. Ancestral script is written on the blackboard of the internal mind, leaving all the vanity and the temporary history far behind. The rhythm of the asphalt is a teacher for the ones who want to know, watching how the integrity and the actual spirits finally start to grow. You don't need a degree to understand the way the universal logic works, recognizing every trap where the horizontal miseducation lurks. The focus internal and the signal is becoming sharp and clear, protecting every fragment or aura from the logic of a petty fear. It's the morning bell and a primal kind of awakening, building up the architecture while the vertical world is shaking. Ritual is learning, the aura is a steady shine, following the sequence of a much more elegant design.
The bell is a teacher, the morning is a school, teaching a logic that doesn't belong to the fool. From the morning bell to the awakening of the soul, understanding how the discipline makes the spirit whole.
The morning bell and a primal kind of awakening, building up the architecture while the vertical world is shaking. The ritual is learning, the aura is a steady shine, following the sequence of a much more elegant design. The bell was the signal, but the awakening was the The blackboard is a witness to the stories that the world tried to erase, but you can wipe the logic of the ancestors from a sovereign face. We're writing out the curriculum in a script that is ancient and deep, honoring the promises that the horizontal spirits couldn't keep. Every stroke of the chalk is a piece of a high-dimensional code, guiding the actual person down along an evolutionary road. It's not a binary history that they teach in the vertical school. It's a structural integrity that doesn't belong to the fool. It's the blackboard and a piece of ancestral script, healing every version where the structural logic slipped. The ritual is writing, the aura is is a steady hand, reclaiming every territory in the center of the land. The script is in the marrow, in the sequence of the holy blood, rising like a pillar from the ancient and the evolutionary mud. You can't learn the truth from a book that was written to confuse, trading in the artificial for the frequency that you actually choose. Integrity is the only language that the Blackboard will allow, living in the center of the actual and the sovereign now. The focus is internal and the signal is becoming sharp and clear, protecting every fragment of the aura from the logic of a petty fear. Next the Blackboard and a piece of ancestral script, healing every version where the structural logic slipped. The ritual is writing, the aura is a steady hand, reclaiming every territory in a cell of the land. The board is a teacher, the script is a school, teaching a logic that doesn't belong to the fool. From the blackboard to the script of the soul, understanding how the history makes the spirit whole. It's the blackboard and a piece of ancestral script, healing every version where the structural logic slipped. The ritual is writing, the aura is a steady hand, reclaiming every territory in the center of the land. The board was the surface, but the script was the truth. On a very vertical and a public wall, designed to make the actual person feel powerful before the eventual fall. But when the teacher wipes the board, the vanity is nothing but a cloud of gray, just a residue of every single lie that the miseducation had to say. We breathe in the dust until the lungs understand the logic of the real value in the texture of exactly what the sovereign person is allowed to feel. You can't build a sanctuary on a foundation made of shifting sand, or an identity that's written by a temporary and a horizontal hand. It's the chalk dust and a temporary kind of ego, watching where the artificial and the hollow voices go. The ritual is erasing, the aura is a steady light, navigating through the center of a heavy and an urban night. Integrity is what remains when the reputation starts to finally fade, standing in the center of a high dimensional and a holy shade. The dust is a teacher for the ones who thought they were the masters of the game, before they realized the universe doesn't even recognize the name. We strip away the layers of the binary and the vertical pride, finding where the actual and the structural version likes to hide. The focus is internal and the signal is becoming sharp and clear, fragment of the aura from the logic of a petty fear. It's the chalk dust and a temporary kind of ego, watching where the artificial and the hollow voices go. The ritual is erasing, the aura is a steady light, navigating through the center of a heavy and a urban night. Drums dropped is a teacher, the erasing is a school, teaching a logic that doesn't belong to the fool. From the chalk dust to the ego of the soul, understanding how the vacuum makes the spirit whole. It's the chalk dust and a temporary kind of ego, watching where the artificial and the hollow voices go. The ritual is erasing, the aura is a steady light, navigating through the center of a heavy and a urban night. The ego was the marking, but the dust was the truth. The ego was the marking, but the dust was the truth. The ego was the marking, but the dust was the truth. The book is open, but the ink is much older than the modern pen, tracing back the sequence of the spirit to the very start of when. It's a genetic record written in the architecture of the soul, understanding how the ancient pieces finally make the person whole. You don't have to search the surface for a truth that's in the vein, navigating through the shadows in the temporary kind of rain. Every chapter is a witness to a much more elegant design, following the heartbeat and the heavy-handed ancestral line. It's the open book and a piece of genetic record, healing every fragment where the spirit was pressured and checkered. The ritual is reading, the aura is a steady flame, honoring the territory and the high-dimensional name. The high-dimensional name. And the high-dimensional name. The curriculum is internal and the foundation is made of stone, reclaiming every story that the actual person has always known. We skip the miseducation of the shallow and the hollow street, observing where the actual and the sovereign versions meet. Integrity is the language that the pages finally speak, strengthening the spirit and providing everything that people see. The focus is internal and the signal is becoming sharp and clear, protecting every fragment of the aura from the architecture of fear. It's the open book and a piece of genetic written, healing every fragment where the spirit was pressured and checkered. The ritual is reading, the aura is a steady flame, honoring the territory and the high-dimensional name. High-dimensional name. Dropped it just in the name. The book is a teacher, the record is a school, teaching a truth that doesn't belong to the fool. From the open book to the record of the soul, understanding how the lineage makes the spirit whole. It's the open book and a piece of genetic record, healing every fragment where the spirit was pressured and checkered. The ritual is reading, the aura is a steady flame, honoring the territory and the high-dimensional name. High-dimensional external world will never tell. It's a permanent kind of marking, a script that doesn't ever fade. Finding all the power in the middle of a high-dimensional shade. The ink is made of history and a very sovereign kind of truth, preserving the integrity and the dignity of the honest youth. You don't need a stencil when the hand is guided by the heart, mastering the geometry of a very structural and a golden art. It's the inkwell and a piece of soul signature, following the pattern of a much more elegant literature. The ritual is writing, the aura is a steady flow, watching how the actual and the sovereign spirits grow. A signature's a witness to the person that you finally become, vibrated into the frequency of an ancient and a rhythmic drum. We reject the miseducation of a shallow and a hollow frame, protecting the identity and the high-dimensional kind of name. The signature is unique, a sequence that can't be cloned, reclaiming every territory that the actual spirit has always owned. The focus is internal and the signal is becoming sharp and clear, protecting every fragment of your aura from the architecture of fear. It's the inkwell and a piece of soul signature, following the pattern of a much more elegant literature. The ritual is writing, the aura is a steady flow, watching how the actual and the sovereign spirits grow. The well is a teacher, the writing is a school, teaching a truth that doesn't belong to the fool. From the inkwell to the signature of the soul, understanding how the authorship makes the spirit whole. It's the inkwell and a piece of soul signature, following the pattern of a much more elegant literature. The ritual is writing, the aura is a steady flow, watching how the actual and the sovereign spirits grow. The ink was the blood, but the signature was the truth. The ink was the blood, but the signature was the truth. The signature, bless the truth. The wooden desk is a sanctuary for the one who knows how to wait, building up the character while the temporary world is at the gate. It's a rooted kind of discipline, an anchor in the middle of the noise, trading in the hollow distractions for the actual and the sovereign poise. Every hour in the silence is a seed inside the hallowed ground, listening to the frequency where the ancient and the structural truth is found. You can't carve a masterpiece on a surface that is thin and weak, honoring the silence and the only language that the spirits speak. It's the wooden desk and a rooted kind of discipline. Da-da-da-da. hours that you spend in the dark, nurturing the flame until it finally becomes a holy spark. We reject the miseducation of the fast and the shallow game, navigating through the shadows and the temporary kind of rain. Integrity is the weight that keeps the vessel from drifting away, remaining in the center of a very private and a golden day. The focus is internal and the signal is becoming sharp and clear, protecting every fragment of the aura from the architecture of fear. It's the wooden desk and a rooted kind of best you can, observing where the actual and the sovereign parts begin. The ritual is focus, the aura is a steady shine, following the architecture of a much more elegant design. The desk is a teacher, the work is a school, teaching a truth that doesn't belong to the fool. From the wooden desk to the discipline of the soul, understanding how the roots make the spirit whole. It's the wooden desk and a rooted pound of discipline, observing where the actual and the sovereign parts begin. The ritual is focus, the aura is a steady shine, following the architecture of a much more elegant design. The desk was the foundation, but the discipline was the truth. The desk was the foundation, but the discipline was the truth. A fight was the foundation, but the discipline was the truth. The desk was the foundation, but the discipline was the truth. The hallway is a bridge between the rooms of the ancient and the new, carrying the echoes of the choices that the actual spirit knew. It's a transitional kind of space where the reputation starts to thin, finding out exactly where the structural integrity should begin. You can hear the footsteps of the ancestors walking on the polished floor, waiting for the person who is ready to open up the next door. We don't need the noise of the crowd to find a frequency that's true, navigating through the shadows like the morning and the heavy dew. It's the hallway echo and a piece of transitional truth, preserving all the dignity and the ancient beauty of the youth. The ritual is walking, the aura is a steady gray, moving through the center of a very structural day. The truth is what remains when the teacher isn't watching every move, finding all the clarity inside the ancient and illusionary groove. We reject the miseducation of the shallow and the hollow light, standing in the sanctuary of a deep and urban night. A transitional moment is a blueprint for the character you keep, while the temporary spirits are distracted and they're fast asleep. The focus is internal and the signal is becoming sharp and clear, protecting every fragment of the aura from the architecture of fear. It's the hallway echo and a piece of transitional truth, preserving all the dignity and the ancient beauty of the youth. The ritual is walking, the aura is a steady gray, moving through the center of a final echoing snare, hailed of a distant door opening, silence. Yeah. The ritual is walking. Again. Steady grey.
Quiet room is a sanctuary for the ones who finally want to hear, removing every layer of the temporary and the public fear. It's a necessary solitude, a deep and an internal kind of peace, waiting for the static of the modern world to finally cease. You can't find the architecture of the spirit in a crowded place. It's a private conversation with the ancient and the sovereign face. We sit inside the stillness until the heartbeat is the only sound, honoring the territory where the actual and integrity is found. It's the quiet room and a piece of necessary solitude, adjusting every fragment of the internal and the holy mood. The ritual is silence, the aura is a steady flame, honoring the history and the high dimensional name. Solitude is a teacher for the ones who aren't afraid to be alone, reclaiming every story that the actual person has always owned. We reject the miseducation of the constant and the hollow light, standing in the sanctuary of a deep and the urban night. Integrity is what you cultivate when there's no one left to see, setting every version of the actual and the structural person free. The focus is internal and the signal is becoming sharp and clear, protecting every fragment of the aura from the architecture of fear. It's the quiet room and a piece of necessary solitude, adjusting every fragment of the internal and the holy mood. The ritual is silence, the aura is a steady flame, honoring the history and the high dimensional name. The room is a teacher, the silence is a school, teaching a reason that doesn't belong to the fool. From the quiet room to the solitude of the soul, understanding how the stillness makes the spirit whole. It's the quiet room and a piece of necessary solitude, adjusting every fragment of internal and the holy mood. The ritual is silence, the aura is a steady flame, honoring the history and the high dimensional name. The room was the boundary, but the solitude was the truth. The library is a maze of the ancient and the primary source, hunting for the sequence that the miseducation tried to divorce. Hidden doctrine sitting on a shelf that is dusty and old, trading in the plastic for a structural kind of gold. It isn't in the pamphlets or the news of the modern day. It's a geometry
gone away. We pull the heavy volumes from the shadows of the silent room, watching how the ancient seeds of understanding finally bloom. It's a library shelf and a piece of hidden doctrine, watching where the actual and the sovereign parts lock in. The ritual is searching, the aura is a steady glow, observing how the ancient and the urban spirits grow. Observing how the ancient and the urban spirits grow. Every page is a witness to a truth that was buried and kept, while the temporary versions of the people soundly slept. We reject the miseducation of the shallow and the public scheme, following the architecture of a very structural dream. Integrity is the index that allows the spirit to find the frequency of a much more elegant and a sovereign mind. The focus is internal and the signal is becoming sharp and clear, protecting every fragment of the aura from the architecture of fear. It's a library shelf and a piece of hidden doctrine, watching where the actual and the sovereign parts lock in. The ritual is searching, the aura is a steady glow, observing how the ancient and the urban spirits grow. Observing how the ancient and the urban spirits grow. The shelf is a teacher, the search is a school, teaching a truth that doesn't belong to the fool. From the library shelf to the doctrine of the soul, understanding how the archives make the spirit whole. It's a library shelf and a piece of hidden doctrine, watching where the actual and the sovereign parts lock in. The ritual is searching, the aura is a steady pull, observing how the ancient and the urban spirits grow. Observing how the ancient and the urban spirits grow. The shelf was the map, but the doctrine was the truth. Protecting every fragment that the sovereign person has to feel. A private sanctuary sitting in the middle of the hall, building up a foundation that is never going to fall. We keep the actual treasures hidden from the shallow eye, navigating through the shadows where the hollow versions die. It's a structural kind of safety, a refuge in the steel, honoring the geometry of exactly how the spirits heal. Sanctuary, keeping all the ancient truths and making them legendary. The ritual is closing, the aura is a steady flame, honoring the territory and the high dimension domain.
You don't need to show the world the contents of the internal space, mapping out the architecture of a much more ancient grace. We reject the miseducation of the constant and the public show, watching how the integrity and the actual spirit start to grow. The sanctuary is internal, a fortress in the mind, leaving all the vanity and the temporary noise far behind. The focus is internal and the signal is becoming sharp and clear, protecting every fragment of the aura from the architecture of fear.
It's the locker door and a piece of pride.
teacher, the silence is a school, teaching a reason that doesn't belong to the fool. From the locker door to the sanctuary of the soul, understanding how the privacy makes the spirit whole. It's the locker door and a piece of private sanctuary, keeping all the ancient truths and making them legendary. The ritual is closed and the aura is a steady flame, honoring the territory and the high dimensional name. The door was a shield, but the sanctuary was the truth.
Paper plane is a vehicle for a message that is ancient and true, navigating through the shadows with exactly what the spirit must do. It looks fragile to the ones who only value the surface and the weight, but it's carrying an intention that can open up a sovereign gate. We fold the edges with the geometry of a deep internal care, watching how the actual sequence starts to vibrate through the air. It's a floating kind of purpose, a movement that is sharp and clear, protecting every fragment of the aura from the architecture of fear. It's the paper plane and a piece of floating intent, following the trajectory where the actual spirit was sent. The ritual is throwing, the aura is a steady flight, moving through the center of a heavy and a urban night. Introspective is a witness to the power of a focused and a sovereign mind, leaving all the temporary noise and the miseducation far behind. We don't need a heavy engine to reach the frequency of the real, valuing the texture of exactly what the actual person is allowed to feel. Integrity is the balance that keeps the wings from starting to bend, guiding the intention to a very structural and a golden end. The focus is internal and the signal is becoming sharp and clear, protecting every fragment of the aura from the architecture of fear. It's the paper plane and a piece of floating intent, following the trajectory where the actual spirit was sent. The ritual is throwing, the aura is a steady flight, moving through the center of a heavy and golden light. The plane is a teacher, the flight is a school, teaching a reason that doesn't belong to the fool. From the paper plane to the intent of the soul, understanding how the direction makes the spirit whole. It's the paper plane and a piece of floating intent, following the trajectory where the actual spirit was sent. The ritual is throwing, the aura is a steady flight, moving through the center of a heavy and a urban night. The paper was the carrier, but the intent was the truth.
scale is measuring a value that the world can't even see. Evaluating every fragment of the person you are actually meant to be. It's not about the numbers or the vanity of a public kind of score. It's the ethical weight that you're carrying when you walk through the door. We balance out the energy with the geometry of an ancient and a holy hand, building up a character that is strong enough to finally stand. You can't cheat the frequency when the foundation is made of absolute truth, preserving the integrity and the dignity of our honest and a sovereign youth. It's the grading scale and a piece of ethical weight, adjusting every action before it's finally too late. The ritual is balancing, the aura is a steady goal, honoring the story that the actual spirit has told. The weight of your word is a witness to the structural kind of power, standing in the center of the evolutionary and the final hour. We reject the miseducation of the shallow and the hollow game, navigating through the shadows and the temporary kind of rain. Integrity is the anchor that is sitting in the middle of the soul, understanding how the sequence of the spirit makes the person whole. The focus is internal and the signal is becoming sharp and clear, protecting every fragment of the aura from the architecture of fear. It's the grading scale and a piece of ethical weight, adjusting every action before it's finally too late. The ritual is balancing, the aura is a steady goal, honoring the story that the actual spirit words. The scale is a teacher, the weight is a school, teaching a reason that doesn't belong to the fool. From the grading scale to the weight of the soul, understanding how the balance makes the spirit whole. It's the grading scale and a piece of ethical weight, adjusting every action before it's finally too late. The ritual is balancing, the aura is a steady goal, honoring the story that the actual spirit has told. The scale was the test, but the weight was the truth. The scale was the test, but the weight was the truth. The old map is a witness to a path that the modern world is lost, tracing back the sequence of the spirit at every heavy cost. It's a spiritual territory, a land that's governed from within, watching where the actual and the sovereign stories finally begin. We don't need the coordinate of a shallow and a hollow guide, finding all the treasure where the high-dimensional versions hide. Every crease in the paper is a lesson in the architecture of the soul, understanding how the ancient journey makes the person whole. It's the old map and a piece of spiritual, reclaiming every fragment of the ancient and the urban story. The ritual is walking, the aura is a steady flame, honoring the history and the high-dimensional name. The territory is internal, a kingdom made of character and grace, mapping out the geometry of a much more ancient and a holy place. We reject the miseducation of the temporary and the public way, navigating through the shadows of a very private and a golden day. Integrity is the the compass that is pointing to the frequency of truth, preserving the dignity and the power of an honest and a sovereign youth. The focus is internal, and the signal is becoming sharp and clear, protecting every fragment of the aura from the architecture of fear. Next, the old map and a piece of spiral terry, reclaiming every fragment of the ancient and the urban story. The ritual is walking, the aura is a steady flame, honoring the history and high dimensional name. The map is a teacher, the walk is a school, teaching a reason that doesn't belong to the fool. From the old map to the territory of the soul, understanding how the movement makes the spirit whole. There's the old map and a piece of spin the crowded, reclaiming every fragment of the ancient and the urban story. The ritual is walking, the aura is a steady flame, honoring the history and the high dimensional name. The map was the guide, but the territory was the truth. That the world tried to mute, growing from the ancient and the evolutionary kind of root. It's a harmonic lineage, a frequency that's passed from hand to hand, building up a foundation that is strong enough to finally stand. We don't sing for the vanity of a shallow and a public praise, navigating through the shadows in a million different and a sovereign ways. Every note is a signature of a much more elegant design, following the heartbeat and the heavy-handed ancestral line. It's the school choir and a piece of harmonic lineage, healing every fragment of the ancient and the urban image. The ritual is singing, the aura is a steady glow, watching how the actual sequence of the holy song, proving that the actual and the structural version is strong. We reject the miseducation of the temporary and the hollow tone, reclaiming every story that the actual person is always on. Integrity is the harmony that allows the spirit to finally rise, looking at the territory through the ancient and the sovereign eyes. The focus is internal, and the signal is becoming sharp and clear, protecting every fragment of the aura from the architecture of fear. It's the school choir and a piece of harmonic lineage, healing every fragment, nearing of the end and the urban image. The ritual is singing, the aura is a steady glow, watching how the actual and the sovereign spirits grow. The choir is a teacher, the song is a school, teaching a reason that doesn't belong to the fool. From the school choir to the lineage of the soul, understanding how the harmony makes the spirit whole. It's the school choir and a piece of harmonic lineage, healing every fragment of the ancient
thesis paper is a witness to the years that was spent in the shade, honoring the actual and the sovereign version that the spirit made. It's the final proof, evidence of exactly what the person can do, staying in the frequency and making sure the message is true. We don't need a public committee to validate the internal grade, watching how the temporary and the shallow distractions finally fade. It's a structural kind of mastery, a signature written in gold, guarding every fragment of the story that the ancestors told. It's a thesis paper and a piece of final proof, standing in the integrity and the beauty of the truth. The ritual is finishing, the aura is a steady flame, honoring the territory and the high dimensional name. The proof is in the consistency and the way the actual spirit moves, navigating through the ancient and the evolutionary grooves. We reject the miseducation of the fast and the hollow light, standing in the sanctuary of a deep and an urban night. Integrity is the ink that is never gonna run or smear, protecting every fragment of the aura from the architecture of fear. The focus is internal and the signal is becoming sharp and clear, honoring the ancient and the sovereign version that is finally here. It's a thesis paper and a piece of final proof, standing in the integrity and the beauty of the truth. The ritual is finishing, the aura is a steady flame, honoring the territory and the high dimensional name. If the paper is a teacher, the proof is a school, teaching a reason that doesn't belong to the fool. From the thesis paper to the proof of the soul. It's the thesis paper and a piece of final proof, standing in the integrity and the beauty of the truth. The ritual is finishing, the aura is a steady flame, honoring the territory and the high dimensional name. The paper was a vessel, but the proof was the truth. Diploma is a witness to the frequency that you finally won, observing how the internal and the structural evolution has begun. It isn't a paper that is issued by a shallow and a public hand. It's the authority to finally rule in the center of the land. Yeah, we leave the miseducation and the shadows of the old heart, building up a legacy that is never gonna fade off. Every struggle was a lesson in the architecture of the mind, leaving
school, teaching a reason that doesn't belong to the fool. From the diploma to the graduation of the soul, understanding how the mastery makes the spirit whole. So the sovereign, like the thesis, sovereign graduation, all in the sequence of the high dimensional creation. The ritual is finishing, finishing. Alright, it's a steady flame, honoring the territory and the high dimensional name. The school was the journey, but the graduation was the truth.